Hey guys, welcome to Wicked Manny. Today we are going to do some dinosaur nails. Now, these nails won't contain any stamping, anything very difficult. You're going to use a gradient technique and then we're just going to paint on the dinosaur bones so they look like fossils. This is actually much easier than it looks. You can do this with a paint pen, you can do this with nail polish, acrylic paint, or you can do it with a white gel pen. There are lots of options. You don't have to do this with a paintbrush if you don't like that. So don't feel intimidated by hand painting these nails. You can do it. So let's get started. As usual, the links to all the products I'm using today will be below. So I am starting out with a brown on my nails so that they look like dirt. Then I'm going to take some liquid latex and I'm going to paint around my nail because we're going to do a gradient. If you don't want to do a gradient, you can skip this step. Our gradient is super easy. It's going to be 2 shades of brown, a light brown, a dark brown, and a black. The base color I'm using is actually a brown from Salon Perfect. The light brown I'm using is a Clean Colors, and the black I'm using is also Salon Perfect. Salon Perfect is a brand that you can find at Walmart, so it's very, very easy to find and very accessible, and better yet, it is only like $3, maybe $4 a bottle, depending on where you live. So, as usual, we are going to take our makeup sponge. We are going to paint the light brown and the dark brown on the sponge, and then trace around the outside with the black. We're going to be doing a radial gradient here, not a typical striped gradient. So that's why it appears like this on the sponge. We're trying to go for more of a circular design instead of stripes. Once you have painted the colors onto your sponge in the design that you'd like, then you're going to press the colors and the sponge against your nail. You're just going to pat it over and over again so that the color transfers onto your nail. And you can do this however you want. My middle finger is going to be a little darker than my others, and my first finger is going to be a little lighter than the others. And then I'm going to go over that with a little bit of the light brown to try and make it look like it's not completely even, so it's a little, more dirt looking than it was before. And you're just going to repeat this technique over and over again on all of your fingers. Now that I have that the way I want it, we are going to get started on our fossils. Now, if you have a white that typically bleeds into whatever color you have on the base, you may want to put a top coat on first before you put on the white. If you're going to paint with acrylic, if you're going to use gel pens, if you're going to use paint pens, definitely do a coat of like fast dry top coat or some other kind of top coat here and let it dry completely before you move on to the next step. If you're just using nail polish, it won't make any difference, so you don't have to do that step if you don't want to. But if you want to do any of the other types of application here for the bones, please put on a top coat first. Otherwise, it is not going to work out the way that you want it to. Now, I am just taking a small paintbrush here with white nail polish, and I am just going to do my best to make dinosaur bones. I'm just looking at some dinosaur bones that I found on Google and trying to make it look as good as I can on my nail. I don't really have any rhyme or reason for this. It's just what worked best for me. If you're using acrylic here or the gel pen method and you don't like the way it's looking, you have a very easy time of undoing anything that you don't like. If you're using the nail polish technique, you may have to go over something you don't like with more nail polish because that will really be the only way to get rid of it. So if you're trying to figure out what the best method for you might be, keep that in mind. So I'm just gonna dot this on over and over again until it looks like a spine. Then I'm going to add what looks like ribs, or I hope looks like ribs, and then a little arm, and then some more ribs and like a pelvis-y thing, and then a leg. I don't know what kind of dinosaur this is. Like, maybe it's a raptor? It's raptor-like, I guess. Yeah, we're just gonna say it's a raptor. Now, on to the next finger. For this one, I'm just going to try and do a skull. So if you have a hard time with these really, really small designs, Maybe the skulls would be easier for you. I found it to be much easier. I did a stegosaurus on my thumbnail that I did not record, but you can see the picture of it at the beginning of this video, also at the end, and on my Instagram. It wasn't any different than doing the raptor-ish thingy on my middle finger. So I'm just gonna brush on this white polish and hope that it looks like a skull that I found on Google. Try to add some teeth and some shading. I didn't like the way this looked when it was completely opaque white, so I tried to dot it on so it wasn't completely even, because typically when you see pictures of fossils, they're not bright white and completely even. They've still got dirt on them, or dust or whatever it happens to be. So I liked the way that that looked better. And then for my ring finger, I did not feel like drawing a whole other dinosaur bone situation. So I'm just doing some smaller bones and an egg and this weird little creature thing that I can't think of the name for, like a troglodyte or something. I don't know. I'm not a paleontologist. Dinosaur things. Yeah. If you know the name of the creature thing that I painted, put it in the comments below. So as you can see, it's not really difficult to do these. It may take a little bit of practice to get used to it. So you might want to try drawing some small designs on like a piece of paper first to see if you like them or if you don't. But I found these to be much easier than a lot of the other things that I typically hand paint. Like much easier than hand painting the Demogorgon. So there's that. So I'm just going to go in and add a little bit more shading to my first finger. Sorry that my camera's being weird with the focusing here. I don't know why. And then add a nose hole. I don't know what that's called in like dinosaur science. And then I think the jaw on this other one's too thick. So I'm going to go over that with a little nail polish and try and fix it. And I just made it worse. All right, let's try again with the darker brown. Okay, that looks better. God, I made that look bad for a second. Yay, fixed it. And now I'm just going to clean up a little around my cuticles where some of the nail polish came through the liquid latex, as it always does. And then all we need is a clear coat and we will be done. And oh my god, I remembered to record putting on clear coat this time, you guys. It's like I'm getting used to making these videos or something. So much better cleaned up. Yeah, not quite done yet. I realized I wanted another bone on this one. So just gonna add another little bone here. Now we can do the clear coat. Yes. If you do not have a no smudge top coat, wait a while before doing this, because otherwise with all this white and all the brown, it will smudge. It will smudge a lot. So make sure it's completely dry before you do any top coatage. Otherwise it's going to cause a lot of problems and you will regret your life. So that's it, guys. We are all done. So there's some super easy hand-painted dinosaur fossil nails. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please like it up, comment below, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. If you have already subscribed, thank you. You are awesome. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.